This morning, we are talking with Oprah Daily about the invisible mental health load that many women carry, often in silence. Oprah hosts classes called The Life You Want on Oprah Daily, where she interviews experts and familiar faces about wellness. Today, we have an inside look at her new class on women's mental health. Oprah spoke with psychotherapist Lori Gottlieb, author of Maybe You Should Talk to Someone, a therapist, her therapist, and our lives revealed. Here's a clip about what Lori calls an emotional heart attack.
Women are dealing with a lot, and we can't complain about it. We have to apologize if we feel like we are struggling with it. We feel like there's some kind of hierarchy of pain where we feel like, yeah, maybe I'm feeling sad, or I'm feeling anxious, or I'm not sleeping well, or I'm having trouble in my relationship, but I have a roof over my head and food on the table, so it's not that bad.
Right.
And then people don't do anything about it until they're basically having an emotional heart attack. And that's when they come in.
Oh, that word, that emotional heart attack resonated, didn't it? I think that's, what does that mean? Okay, can you go a little deeper?
Yeah, think about it. If you're having chest pain, you will probably go get that checked out by your doctor before you have a heart attack.
Right.
If you are having emotional pain, it takes people on average of years, I'm not talking weeks or months, but years before they will go and get help for that. So why do we need to be having an emotional heart attack before we go and take care of our emotional health? But for our physical health, we don't say, I need to be on my deathbed before I'm going to go see a doctor.
So Lori Gottlieb and Pilar Guzmán join us now. Pilar is the editorial director of Oprah Daily. Thank you both. Welcome.
Thank you.
When I watched this special, I mean, when you said the emotional heart attack, I went, oh, I got like the heart attack, feeling, because it's so true. You let things bubble up. Why do so many people, and women especially, do that?
I think we have this hierarchy of pain in our minds of, maybe I'm feeling sad, maybe I'm feeling a little bit anxious, maybe I'm having trouble in this relationship, but it's not that bad because I have a roof over my head and food on the table. And so especially as women, we minimize and we wait until things are really bad before we say, okay, maybe I need to talk to someone.
But don't men do that too? Don't men also think I shouldn't complain because I have, there are worse things in the world, or do they not as much as women?
Men swallow it for way too long, and then you throwing stuff off of a deck somewhere, and people are like, it's a mental health episode. So men have their own problem, but let's focus on women for this one. I mean,
no, men do that too. They
Tony,
do that
good
too.
job right there. Focus on women.
Thank you, yeah.
Men will come into therapy and they'll say, I've never told anyone this before, and they literally have not told a soul. And women will come in and they'll say, I've never told anyone before, except for my mother, my sister, my best friend. So maybe they've told 1, 2, or 3 people. But it does take a long time for both men and women to come in and really say, you know what, it's so bad that I have to come in. And we shouldn't do that, because health is health, whether it's emotional health or physical health. They're all intertwined. And so if you have a physical problem, you're going to go get it checked out. So we should do the same thing with our mental health.
Yeah. Pilar, this is a no-brainer, it feels like, for Oprah Daily. But I mean, what was the moment where you said, yes, we're doing this, and we're doing this now?
I think we've been hearing it in our community. It's just everywhere all the time. And whether it's about child rearing or balancing work and family, whether it's about just the marriage, I think women have these endless to-do lists that they feel that they are never chipping away at.
Yeah.
They go to bed at night thinking of all the things that they did wrong or didn't get to, or somehow failed and then didn't get in their steps or eat enough protein or do this and that and all the other stuff that's sort of more superficial even than that. I think we are constantly, and we hear this resoundingly in our community, just this feeling of always being on our back heel.
I don't want to personalize this because I want this to be a focus of women, but I'll tell you about how I experience these conversations when I know my wife is dealing. In my mind, I get stuck between, do I listen and remain quiet, which sometimes can seem disconnected from what she's saying, or do I listen and try to come up with a solution because I want to fix and help?
Right.
And it is this really awkward space. And sometimes I have this emotional battle inside, and I just don't know what to do at times. So what can you say to men who want to be the best spouse and support system to their significant other?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is deja vu. There is listening. I think is number 1, 2, and 3. I think listening without defensiveness is huge. I think sometimes there can be a place for solution, but I'm going to turn it over to the good doctor over here because I think we do really well if we can just calm our nervous system and be present and listen without reaction. I think that's really hard for us to do, and men tend to want to fix.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes just saying, how can I be helpful right now? Do you just want to vent? Do you want me to come up with solutions with you?
Ask that question.
Do you just want a hug right now? Just saying, how can
That's
I
good.
help right now?
That's really good.
Is there a reason why women are so much more likely to take on this mental load, try to, manage so many things in the family?
I think that women feel a lot of guilt. They see it on social media and they say, I'm not living up to this expectation. They have this idea about what they're supposed to do or how they're supposed to be. And I think that, just because someone sends you guilt doesn't mean you have to accept delivery. And I think that women don't take that to heart. And I think also the way that women talk to ourselves. So a lot of times when you think, who is the person that you talk to most in the course of your life? It's yourself. And what we say to ourselves throughout the day, if you actually listen to that voice, it isn't always kind or true or useful. Yeah. And I think if we can use those 3 criteria as if you're doing something during the day and you think, oh, I didn't do that well enough, or I'm not doing enough, or whatever voice is in your head, ask yourself, was that kind? Was it true? Was it useful? If not, let's change the radio station in our head.
I love
It's
that.
amazing,
Yeah.
Pilar. It's just like, wow.
So good. I love that. If you get sent guilt, send it back. Return to sender, please. Lori Gottlieb and Pilar Guzmán, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
You can watch Oprah Daily's The Life You Want class on oprahdaily.com.
So good.